Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make these beautiful rose rings. I've been wanting to make these forever, and I finally did, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. Here's what they look like from the side. I did them with wire, and I decided to do all gold. I don't know why, because I am actually more of a silver person, but I just had to do gold. And as you can see, you can use different sizes and shapes of flowers. These two roses that I have here, I bought from Michael's. They were on the Bead Gallery collection. There's some kind of a carved bead, and this rose here, I believe I got that in a dollar bead box subscription, and this rose I found in the dollar bead bin at Walmart. You know, the cardboard bins that they have that are like on the bottom of the shelf, and their beads are $1 each. I found that rose in there, and there's actually a pair of them, and there was some other beads in the bag. But anyways, I'm really happy with how these turned out. And you guys can get these flowers all over the place. You can get them at craft stores, but you're probably going to want to check online, because you're probably going to be able to get a lot more of them and in different colors. And also make sure they have holes, because I have other roses that are like these ones, but they're just a little bit smaller, that I've used in bracelets. And when I went to go order those online, I saw that a lot of the roses did not have holes. They were made for doing crafts. So if you do buy these online, make sure that they are drilled, because that would stink if you bought a lot of them and they were holeless. So let's go ahead and do this. It's going to be a really fun, easy project. And like I said, you can use all different sizes and shapes. Here is the list of materials you will need to make a ring. You will need 20 gauge wire, a rose or flower bead, chain nose pliers, nylon jaw pliers, wire cutters, a ring mandrel, and a nylon hammer. Now the length of wire you will need will depend on what size of ring you want and how big your flower is. So all the rings I made, this one here, this one I used 18 inches of wire, and these are size 8-9, okay? And this one here is the same size, it's a 9, but I used a bigger flower. So I found that I had to use 20 inches of wire. So if you want a ring that is bigger than a 9, you will need 20 inches of wire. And if you are making a ring that has a big flower, and by the way, this is the size of a quarter, you will need 20 inches of wire. And if you're making a ring that is a 9 or smaller and you're using small flowers, you will need 18 inches of wire. This is the list of materials. Remember, I will always have it down there below the video in the description bar, so you guys can see everything you will need. Because I'm using a small flower, I cut 18 inches of wire, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on the wire. And by the way, I did straighten my wire out with the nylon pliers to save time. So I got my bead on, okay, and I'm going to put my ends together and make sure they are even, and then I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to find the center of my wire, which is right here. Okay, I'm going to bend it like that. Now I'm going to put this on my ring mandrel, and I want a size 9, so I actually have to make this one size bigger than I normally wear. So I'm going to a 10, and what's going to happen is when we wrap this around and then we wrap our ends around, it's going to shrink one size. So I'm making this at a 10 because it will shrink to a 9. Alright, so holding this in place just like this. And by the way, I have two ring mandrels. I have one that's metal and this plastic one here. And I realize whenever I do the hammering, I have to do it on the plastic one, because my metal one has this flat spot on both sides and I cannot get a round shape with it. I don't know why it's made like that. I guess there's like 2 different sizes on each one. But anyways, this ring mandrel I actually got from Walmart. It was $5 and it was an awesome deal because I've made several rings with it, and because it's plastic, it's really easy to work harden your wire on it. Alright, so I have my ring on here and I'm going to go like this, okay, and I'm going to bend my wire around my mandrel. I need to make sure that I have one wire on the top and one on the bottom. This is my bottom wire, this is my top wire, okay? So you want to hold this bead in place. You constantly do have to make sure that you're on the size you need, because this will slide up and down. It's kind of hard to control that. So this is what I have, okay? I'm going to wrap this around again, like this, and I'm using my finger to hold onto that wire back there, and I'm going to take this wire and wrap this one around. Okay, and then I have to find the size I need again because I keep losing my position. It's very slippery. Right here is the 10 line. Okay, I'm going to pull this wire and pull this wire. I'm going to scoot this wire down like that. Scoot these together. Pull this. Pull this. I'm going to take the wire and go like that. Pulling it tight. I'm going to do the same here. Okay. Now, do you see how my wire, these ones here that I wrapped, do you see how it's on the sides of the flower and it's expanded? It's not touching this one. We need all of our wires to touch. So to get that to happen, I do slide this up my mandrel, okay, and then I bring the wires together. I group them together like this under the flower, and then I slide this down to the size that I need, which is a 10, and remember it shrinks to a 9, and then I have to pull my wires tight again, and I do get my pliers here, and I go like this, pull both sides tight, there's 10. Okay, after you pull it tight, then go like this. Now, I always have to look at the flower from this direction and take my chain nose pliers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this wire right here and I'm going to twist it like this. See that? Because I have to make a bend right here. See that? So that my wire can wrap around here. And if it's just like this at an angle, it's harder to do it. So that's why I bend the wire in there like that on both sides. Okay, pull this tight. Again, I have to bring these together. It's a little tricky to do that. Let's see. Okay. I'm getting it. I'll use this to pull it tight. That one. Okay. See how it's coming together? So I like to come in here, squeeze this together. You want these to be touching before you wrap it around the rose so that the ring band wires are even. You want them to be flat. So if you look back at all the other flower rings that I've done, do you see how perfectly flat and smooth I got them? It's because of this part right here. Okay, pull it tight, pull it tight. I'm going to look at the back. Do it again. And I'm going to wrap this side and wrap this side like this. Okay. I go like this. I do one side at a time. Make sure you pull it tight as you wrap. Okay, there we go. Looks good. Okay, I just have to keep these together. I'm going to go like this now, because this is going to be wrapped around this side of the ring band. Pull this one, and I'm going to go, trying to bend this around at the bottom. Let's see, what is it doing? Oh, I see. Okay. So like that. And now I'm going to do some hammering to get this to straighten out for me, because as you can see they're separated. So I go like this. Okay. Make sure that the flower is centered there in your ring mandrel. Go like this. It's going to help bring the wires together. And take it off. Flip it over. I actually did this on my lap, but for filming purposes I have to hold it like this. But yeah, I had this on my leg and I was hammering it and it made it so much better. And then you also want to go like this. You'll have to take it off every so often and flip it. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I'm going to go to the wrapping part. I'm going to go like this. Grab this one. Pull this tight. I think I'm going to start wrapping this side. So to do that, I'm going to put these wires together and hold them just like this with my pliers, and I need to bend this like this so I can go through the ring here. Okay. Hold your ring band wires together. Grab this wire here. And then I'm going to flatten it. Make sure that you flatten it because it makes your wire all parallel to each other so it's not bunched up in a circle. Hold it like this and do a wrap. Okay, and then flatten it again. Bend this down through the band. Turn it around. Flatten it again. You'll have to make sure that your wraps are all touching each other. You have no gaps. If you have gaps, your wraps won't be consistent. They'll be off. Okay. Flip it over. Another wrap. Again, every time you do a wrap, you want to flatten it. It's like you're crimping the wire down so that your ring band becomes flat. This might be my last wrap here. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm going to go in here from right here, trim that wire. See that? If you trim the wire right here at the very edge of the ring, it will poke you. But if you can get it to be underneath the band, it's just right and it won't poke you. Okay. There's one side. Now I have to do this side. And I'm going to do the same thing I just did on the other side. I have to put my wire together to form my ring band like this. Pull this tight. I actually have mandrel pliers, and I was wondering if it would be easier for me to hold onto the ring with mandrel pliers because they are round. Okay, I'm going to bend this around. I need to bend it like this though. Go through the ring band. Pull this tight. Like that. Scooch it down. Continue wrapping. Have to flip it around and make sure that this side is crimped. Okay, looks good. So you can see how the wire here on the back is keeping the rose from flipping. If we didn't have the wire wrapping around the bottom of this rose, the rose would tilt back and forth. So it's the wire that stabilizes it in place for us. Okay, I have one more wrap, and then I trim my wire. There we go. Push the wraps down towards the flower, like that. Now if you look at our ring band, do you see how they're separating? That's because we have to hammer it more. That's why it's doing that. So I'm putting my flower on here. Adjusting my wrap some. Okay, you can also squeeze your wraps like this. Okay, you want to make sure that it's like stuck. Push it down until the ring band gets stuck, and then hammer it. Hammering it like this makes the wires go closer together, but you will notice that you will have to remove it and flip it in order to get them to stay together. Okay, and I'm also going to hold it like this and work hard in the wire. This is so much easier if you hold this on your leg and hammer it. But like I said, for video filming purposes, I have to do it like this, and it does get stuck in there, so you will have to remove it with your hammer. Okay, so I just keep hammering this until the wires look like this and they're touching each other. It will take some time. Try to keep this in the center right here, because if it turns, you will have this square edge on your wire. You'll see it. My ring, so cute. I really like them, especially this size. I think this is like a 10mm rose, in case you were wondering. And if you can't find them at Michael's, you might be able to find them online at Michael's. So check there if you want to get the same flowers I have. I did buy these a long time ago though, so they might not be in stock anymore. But they might still be in stock. You never know. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so you get notified when I upload new videos. And check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.